Hello, welcome to 2013. Well, it's been a fun week in practice. Everyone's back on board now, everyone's back from their holidays, and we've been talking about New Year's resolutions or our goal setting for the year. It's exciting because it's about, cleaning the slate from the year before and thinking about what we want to do or change about ourselves going forward into the new year. And we've all been giving it some thought, so I've been asking everyone that's coming in and they've been asking me. It's interesting though, because only 88% of people who genuinely make a New Year's resolution at the beginning of the year actually follow through. Why is it that we're so fickle? Why is it that we are so clear about what we want and how we want to do it, and yet we're not good at follow through? Well, it's a little bit like the fable, The Tortoise and the Hare. And in this fable, it's about a cheeky hare who's very confident. He's fast. He knows he's fast. He knows he can get to the finish line before anyone else. And the slow, steady tortoise. And the tortoise is over the hare giving him, hassling him, which is what the hare consistently does. And so he challenges him to a race. And of course the hare accepts. He knows he's going to win. It's a shoo-in, he knows. Anyway, off they set from the start line, and the hare shoots off. He's in the front, he's left the tortoise for dust. Halfway around the race, in his confidence, he decides to have a little nap. He's got the time to spare. However, when he wakes up, the tortoise slowly has been plodding along, consistently making that change, and reaches the finish line first to be the victor. And it's really interesting because we find in practice, often people are coming in for their first visits and they're really looking for that quick fix. They're looking for those quick results, and unfortunately chiropractic cannot deliver on that, because what we acknowledge is that the body is self-healing and self-organising, and that often the problems that we present with when we first come in for care, they haven't happened overnight. They've actually taken years often to get to the point that you've now reached when you come into the office. And so it's the same sort of thing as our New Year's resolutions, is that we can't expect massive change to happen overnight. And I think that's why most people give up, is that not seeing the change they're wanting, or they're finding that it's too hard to follow through with because they've set themselves such a big goal. So with that in mind, with the tortoise and the hare in mind, let's go about setting our New Year's resolutions with a little bit more of the taint of the tortoise. Let's think about doing things slow, small change over long periods of time so that it can be maintained. So with that in mind, I'm sure you've all heard of the SMART principles. The SMART principles are smart. They help us to set goals which we can achieve. So when you're looking at your life, first of all ask yourself, who am I? Why? What makes me tick? What makes me passionate? And if you come from a place of purpose, you're far more likely, for one, to follow through with those goals. Secondly, when you pluck a goal out to, for example, to lose weight, it means nothing unless you apply these SMART principles to it. So the first of the SMART principles is S, which stands for be specific. So be very clear about why you want it, how you're going to do it, who you're going to do it with, and what are the other things? Let me just read my notes here. Who might be involved in your losing your weight, for example, and take some time just to identify what's going to stop or block you. What in the past has sabotaged you achieving this goal? And that will help you make some changes so that you will achieve it this time. Secondly, make sure it's measurable. So in the case of losing weight, how much weight do you want to lose? How are you going to check that you've lost that weight? And by what time, or what's the time frame that you want to lose it by? Okay? Make sure it's measurable. Also include in that, once you've achieved your goal, what are you going to reward yourself with? What's the outcome for you in the end? Thirdly, is it attainable? Okay, so with this one, you really want to set out your strategy. How are you going to do it? So if you would like to lose weight, what are you going to do that? Is it walking every day for 20 minutes? Is it joining a dance group? Is it perhaps cutting out certain sugars from your diet? Is it looking at eating in a different way that might boost your metabolism? Now, fourthly, is it relevant? This is a really important one. If you were to start that goal right today, what could stop you from achieving that goal? Is it actually good timing? So if you had 3 weddings over the month of January and you wanted to start that lose weight goal, chances are you're either going to have a miserable time at the weddings or you're not going to achieve your goal. So factor those things into it and make sure it's the right time, the right place, and that's really what you want before you start. Now we're on to the last one, which is time bound. How long is it going to take you? Is it realistic? Is it measurable? And is it time specific? So with that in mind, and the tortoise and the hare fable at the back of your mind, just remember you're more likely to create change in your lives that's long-lived if you come from a place of purpose, so you know what you want, and when you follow these SMART principles. Also, I would just want you to reflect on the fable, the tortoise and the hare. And remember, all good things do come, but often to those who are consistent, who are committed to the outcome, and who are very sure and steady in their approach. So good luck, and I look forward to hearing how you're going with those. Thank you.